Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and I'm in my collection right now taking a look at a very specific card, and it is called Zergling. It's from the StarCraft mini set, and the significance of this card is that it's the first card, if you actually go into your collection, it's the first card that has been nerfed, that you scroll through in current standard. And I just thought, we were talking about this on my stream, what if we just make a video going over every card that has been nerfed in standard, just to show how crazy things have been and how still the older stuff is mostly dominating in Hearthstone. And it just kind of blows your mind when you take a look at it from a grand scheme of things, how many cards have been changed and why it's just a crazy, I don't know, it's just a crazy experience playing Hearthstone these days, where it doesn't matter how much they nerf, it just seems like the old stuff comes in. So we're gonna go through it, and you might be surprised how many freaking changes there have been in less than 24 months for these cards. And as always, if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below, give the video a like, as it helps the channel out a lot. So we're gonna go purely off memory, just for even more fun, so you guys can point out what I missed, but let's go through every card that's been nerfed. So Zergling used to summon a copy of itself. Now it just gets a 1/1, and it was really busted right away with the, was it Shafar? That was pretty insane. This was a while ago, but this used to be a 2/3, but that wasn't nerfed in like the current standard rotation. Brittlebone Buccaneer used to be a 1/4. Dreadhound Handler used to be a 2/2. Spawning Pool used to be 1 mana, plus the Zerglings themselves also got nerfed at a separate time. Corpsicle very recently was 2 mana. And don't forget to disenchant it if you have extra copies. There's still the refund on it. Guiding Figure used to be 2 mana. The Infestor used to give +1/+1 to all your Zergs for the rest of the game, and I still have PTSD over that one. Threads of Despair used to be 2 mana. It also used to be 1 mana as well, and I think I gave it a 2 initially, but I thought the card was decent. I just didn't think it would see play right away. My god, I was wrong. Sanguine Infestation used to be 4 mana. Again, refunded if you got it. Hideous Husk used to have the steal 2 more health with the leeches rather than 1, and this card still sees play, as a lot of these cards do. Kerrigan used to be 7 mana. My god, StarCraft, what a set. On a Demon Hunter, where this used to be a 1/3 not very long ago, right? Also a 2/2 when it launched on day 1. Again, outdated, but Crimson Sigil Runner was a 2/1 like years and years ago, but I thought I would mention it. Sock Puppet Slither Spirit used to be a 1/3. Again, I won't mention it for every instance, but yes, Zergling also nerf for Demon Hunter, but yeah, this factored. Basically, anytime you see a StarCraft nerf, it factor in multiple classes. Sigil of Skydiving used to summon 3 pirates instead of 2, and honestly don't remember the last time. I guess they really did kill the card, didn't with that nerf. Again, just throw back to old days of Hearthstone. This used to cost 0 when it was outcast. That was a nutty card. I think it lasted for a day at that rate. And same with Eldraki Warblades, right? They used to have 3 durability. Again, these were nerfed like in 2020, but it's just fun to think about. Ballhog used to have the Battle Cry and Death Rattle deal 3 damage instead of 2, and that did pretty much kill off the card. Umpire's Grasp used to be 3 mana. What a card that was. Cliff Dive used to be 6 mana, and this is arguably one of the best decks in standard right now at 7. You could go way back. Remember Innervate used to give 2 mana crystals? I just bring that up because would that not be like the most broken card ever right now? That's just one of the most broken cards ever. Symbiosis used to give you a mana discount on the card, which was a buff to the card originally and then got reverted. We've seen a lot of that in the last couple of years. Magical Dollhouse used to be 1 mana. This is how Chia Drake started, but it eventually got buffed to be, I believe, a 3/5 and then got reverted. Again, that happens a lot. Sparkling File recently got changed from 3 to 4 mana. Amir Dristle used to be 4 mana. Ironically, the same rating Theo gave it, I gave it a 5, and it ended up being a 5 too. Is that a double win? Chrono Boost used to be 4 mana and still sees play at 5. Sleep Under the Stars used to be 7 mana and it's still pretty damn good at 8. I guess you could say the same about Artanis used to be 7 mana and is also 8 mana now. Low the Living Legend was 7 mana and allowed for some disgusting mana cheat and got bumped all the way to 9. Hydration Station used to be 8 mana, and before that, it used to just summon 3 taunt minions, right? The 3 highest costs. It didn't have to be different. on Zilliax army, and still this sees play at 10 mana. Jungle Gym used to have 3 durability, still sees play at 2. Amphibian Spirit went from 2 to 3 mana in a pretty darn fast fashion and hasn't really seen play since. Mr. Egg started at 5 mana, where it would discount your beast by 5 less, got buffed to 4 mana, your beast would be 4 less, and now it's at where it's at, where it discounts your beast by 3 less, and it also broke wild for a while with well, the first 2 iterations. Alien Encounters used to give these guys, they were 2 5s rather than 2 4s, slightly insane card still, to say the least. RC Rampage recently got nerfed from 4 to 5 mana. Tending Dragonkin used to be 3 mana, and with the whole King Plush thing was absolutely disgusting. Yeah, and speaking of that, King Plush used to have charge, and it would return all minions with lower attack to their board, and with imbue and being like 0 mana, it was ridiculous, and we'll be curious to see if it gets reverted for wild or not. Seabreeze Chalice used to be able to go face. What a ridiculous card, and still insane now that it only hits minions. It's kind of weird how the nerf was kind of a buff for some decks, especially Arena. I need to think that Surfalopod used to be a 5/6, and they thought nerfing this would fix Big Spell Mage. It did not. Skyla used to be 5 mana, and with that Tsunami buff was absolutely ridiculous, and again, didn't really fix everything by making this 6. And yes, they buffed Tsunami to be 10 mana and summoned 4 water elementals, and eventually got reverted, and that artwork makes sense yet again. Divine Brew used to also give a minion that had Divine Shield +1 attack. Live the Galacadepts only required 5 Murlocs instead of 6. Aegis of Light was 1 mana, and you would get a random 1-drop instead of a 2-drop. Starport had every single starship piece except for Medevac get nerfed. We're not going to show them or list them all, but yes, this was an insane card that needed to see multiple nerfs. Hot Spring Glider used to make your next Murloc cost 2 less instead of 1. Holy Glow Sticks used to be able to go face, now it's only a minion. Lift Off used to cost 3 mana, also all the starship pieces that got nerfed, a part of that. Painter's Virtue used to have Lifesteal. Tigress Plushie used to be 3 mana, what a frickin' card. Flickering Lightbot used to be 3 mana, still pretty good at 5, I mean 0, I don't know what's going on. Jim Raynor used to be 7 mana. Brain Masseuse used to be a 2/4, my god, that was a good card in Standard and Wild. Orbital Halo used to get +2/+1 for basically 0 mana. Ozza got completely reworked, where basically you played this, it had Battle Cry, I believe it was like refresh your hero power whenever you played a card for the rest of the game. And yeah, it died for Imbue Sins, which never really took off that huge, although it is playable to a certain extent after its buff. Zarimi require you to only have to, I believe, summon dragons rather than play, and it also originally had the same deal, but 5 dragons, so this card's been through some stuff and is still really damn good. Wilted Shadow used to be a 7/7 instead of a 6/7, and still pretty good at this moment. Resuscitate recently got nerfed from 5 to 6 mana. Preparation, you know that this used to make your next spell cost 3 less. That is freaking crazy. I mean, been nerfed years and years ago, but my goodness, that is nuts. Shadow Step just makes me mad. I just wanted to point that out. Twisted Webweaver used to be a 1 mana 1/3 in Cycle Rogue, still extremely nuts. At least at higher ranks, Ambush Predators, it felt like this card got nerfed with how bad it is, but no, it's just this bad. Harbinger of the Blighted used to be 2 mana, which was 0 mana with Shadow Step, and as a result, it's 3 mana now, sees no more play because Shadow Step. Metal Detector used to give you a coin whenever it attacked into a minion. Seashield used to work on cards that were non-rogue, making it really busted with tourist cards. Now it just reads from another class, cost 2 less. The Crystal Cove used to give the next minion you summon this turn the stats set to 5/5 instead of 4/4. Conniving Conman also got that Sea Shield treatment of non-rogue cards no longer working, had to be from another class. The Ever Burning Phoenix, I think was it 3 mana 3/2? I can't even remember if it was a 4 mana, whatever it was, I'll have it there, but basically it cost 0 for each card you play this turn, so you could replay it a bunch each time throughout the turn. Now it's Death Rattle at the end of the turn, get another Phoenix. Still really good card in Cycle Rogue at High Legend. Sonya used to work on both minions and spells, and now it only works on minions and still sees play in like Protoss Rogue. Sandbox Scoundrel recently nerfed. Your next card this turn costs 3 less, now it's 2. Quasar used to cost 6 mana and basically gave me a complete hissy fit. Everything Must Go used to be 8 mana, and Robocaller made this pretty darn nuts. Malted Magma used to be able to go face, my goodness. Murmur's effect did not just affect the first Battlecry minion, but any battle cry minion for whatever. It was just gross, super gross, and it used to cost 6 mana on top of that. Wave of Nostalgia, which by the way is currently banned in Hearthstone, also used to be 5 mana. I believe its ban is related to the Aviana issue. So Amber, whatever, that big dragon, your time is coming up soon. The Razzle Dazzler got buffed to 6 mana and went back to 7. Kind of sad to see that happen. Cursed Catacombs used to discover another minion from your deck and is still absolutely insane. Escape the Underfell got its reward buffed to 5 mana as well as its requirement buffed to 5 cards, fully reverted, and we thank Blizzard for that. Hardy Fiend used to be a 1 mana 1/1. Curse Campaign used to be 3 mana. Domino Effect used to be 3 mana. The Ultralisk Cavern recently nerfed from 3 mana. Wheel of Death technically got nerfed where it took like a longer turn. We originally kind of only took 4. It was just worded wrong, but it got a dust refund, so it counts as a nerf, even though there was no text change. Food Fight used to be 3 mana, pretty good with dragons. Reserve Spot used to be 3 mana. Chemical Spill just recently got nerfed from 5 to 6 mana. Testing Dummy, thankfully, can no longer go face with the whole Dios thing. Inventor Boom now has 2 different friendly mechs. Before, you could just have double Zilliax, and it was pretty nuts. Zilliax, the most nerfed card in Hearthstone history, has had a few changes to it. The Pylon module used to get +1/+1. It might have been cheaper too, I don't remember. The ticking module, I believe, used to be cheaper and it would cost 1 less for any minion, not just friendly. The virus module had elusive, poisonous, and reborn. And before that, it also had stealth, so you could like double up and you couldn't interact with it. So just a few changes to a card that has stood still over 50% of standard decks. Isn't it funny that Abusive Sergeant used to be a 2/1 and has still stayed as a 1/1 after all these years? Treasure Distributor used to buff itself as alongside other pirates in a pretty not a smart buff that thankfully did get reverted. Tide Pool Pupil used to be 1 mana. My goodness. Brain Gill used to be 2 mana and also gave itself the death rattle of drawing a card. Shafar would stack its effect on cards. Now it can't really do that anymore, and yeah, a little bit better when you could stack it on cards that copied itself, right? I think Murloc War Leader used to give +1/+2 and like all Murlocs, not just yours, way back in the day. Sing Along Buddy used to be 2 mana and then Imbue happened. Back in my day, BGH was 3 mana, but didn't have tradable. Concierge used to be 3 mana, although I think like all the drinks it was broken with have also like been nerfed since. Ethereal Oracle used to be 3 mana and an insane card. Gorgon Zormu used to be 3 mana. That one always felt weird that got nerfed like it did, but hey, it got nerfed. Ancient of Yore recently nerfed, used to give 5 armor instead of 3. Arcanite Defense Crystal, it used to have taunt. It used to be 4 mana. It used to give more armor. This card has been through some shit. Menagerie Jug got buffed to give +3/+3, was reverted not too long after. Puppet Master Dorian used to be 4 mana, pretty good with Oaken Summons. Bob used to be able to recruit a minion by stealing it and not putting a copy of it into your hand. Now that was triggering, although I still do not like how it gives every class a frickin' board freeze. Syndius used to be 6 mana rather than 7. Marin the Manager had its wand nerfed where you would get the cards, draw 3 cards, they were 0. Now it just reduced their cost by 3. Why did they think that would be okay on this card? Narrowlax would just work on all dragons. You could play as many as you want for 1, and now it's your first dragon each turn costs 1 and is still pretty darn good. Grunty preemptively got nerfed to take Cookie out of the pool, therefore my 4-star car rating was correct, even though it technically never got nerfed in standard. Mr. Clocksworth used to be able to rewind 3 times. Yeah, he got nerfed. Broken. Shallow Dristle used to be 7 mana and kind of paid well for Ursol and many other Sids, and still pretty good because, you know, Elise likes 8-cost cards. Iraq used to be 9 mana and cast 20 mana worth of fire spells. Dungar used to be 9 mana, and this is one hell of a card, at least in Wild, with Malagos Druid. Playhouse Giant used to be 20 mana, exclusively a rogue card for the most part, and is still kind of exclusively a rogue card, but not nearly as good. And lastly, Ceaseless used to be 100 mana, 15, got nerfed to a 10/10, and then got nerfed to 125 mana, which also buffed Wild and killed Holy Wrath, although that wasn't a big deal. It would have killed it anyways with 100 mana. So there you go. That's like, at least off the top of my head, looking through my collection. This is one long video, but it's every nerf in standard currently, which just blows my mind how many cards have had to be changed in such a short period of time. I think maybe we can understand why they're trying to lower the power level if this many nerfs have been required over this period of time. Anyways, let me know what you think about all this. Any I missed, any you're shocked that are not on the list. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.